Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Yammie Tells You Things Through the Power of the Internet and Makes YouTube Richer by Doing So. Today I'll be dissecting some more common motorcycle terms you may have seen flying around there on forums, comment section, and other various locations. I also wanted to let you guys know that we just launched a new store with some really sick t-shirts. This one in particular is my favorite. As usual, these proceeds will go to one of my favorite charities, the Yammie Noob Hater Desalination Project, where we help dry the salty tears of my enemies. If you want those tears nice and dry, hit up the link below. It's for a really good cause. Note, Yammie Noob is not affiliated with any charity or any resemblance to any real charity. It's merely coincidence. High sides and low sides. You might have heard someone mentioning that they low-sided their bike, but they were glad they didn't high-side it because it would have been ugly. What the hell are they talking about? Glad you asked. A high side and a low side are two different ways you can crash your motorcycle. Meaning that they're on two wheels, one of two things can happen. You can come into a corner too hot, lean too far over, and slide out. That's a low side, and it's a pretty common type of crash. The other, much more exciting way to crash is to high side. This is when you start slipping the rear tire, but then suddenly you regain traction in the opposite direction and you get bucked off your motorcycle. Here's an example. High side, low side. High side, low side. Get it? Cool. Don't try it at home. Clutch ups. Clutch ups. The more controlled way to wheelie. Okay, when someone says they're doing a clutch up or you need to clutch it up, they're referring to a technique that's used to pop the front wheel up on the bike. If you want examples on how not to do this, watch any of my videos where I try to wheelie because I'm really bad at them. This technique involves, as the phrase implies, pulling in your clutch, revving up the engine, and then releasing the clutch to pop the front wheel. And that's in a nutshell. There's more to it than that, but that's basically it. Easy enough. Moving on. Rear sets. Rear sets are the assembly on which your peg, shifter, and/or lever attach to on a bracket. Basically the entire set of parts that your foot is near. Rear sets are really important because they're a crucial piece of the overall ergonomics of your motorcycle. If you want a more sport-oriented stance, you typically raise your rear sets to move your feet further up, which puts you into more of a crouch position and alters the rider triangle. Now that's something we can get into on a whole other video. Chicken strips. The famous chicken strips. Oh god, the controversial, often useless, silly chicken strips. I won't comment on how I feel about these, but here's what you need to know. The chicken strip is the portion of the rear or front tire that's nearest to the sidewall that remains unused because of a rider's lack of skill, implying that they do not lean over far enough and are not scrubbing in the tire all the way. It's seen as a beginner's way of dick measuring to make sure that they are a true street Rossi. Read, I used to do this. Fairings. Fairings are an easy one. Remember we talked about naked bikes in the other one? This is the opposite. A fairing is a shell that's placed over the frame of the bike. Its primary purpose is to increase the aerodynamic properties of the bike and reduce drag. A bike without fairings is a pretty lumpy thing. There's radiators, forks, the engine, and so on. By placing the shell over it, you create a smooth, streamlined shape. You also allow the bike to run at higher speeds with lower input from the engine because it slips through the air more easily. Tank slapper. It sounds like what truckers do after a Golden Gate time in the restroom, but it's actually when you get speed wobbles and the front of your bike shakes around like a son of a bitch due to gyroscopic forces in Satan and you die. Okay, well, maybe you don't have to die, but it's scary as hell. Here's some footage of what it actually looks like. Typically, your bike won't just randomly do this, but a really easy way to get it to do it if you want to go out in a blaze of glory is to pop the clutch, see, you're learning, and set your front wheel down sideways. Bam, tank slapper. It works best if you're going really fast. ATGAT. This one's easy. It means anytime Gary attacks, take testosterone. Gary's a strong fucker. You're gonna want to juice up and juice up quick. He's known for attacking swiftly, without precedent, and seeks to enact absolute justice. You're gonna want to break your emergency glass and find your vein very quickly. Straight nut to the dome. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way. I'm just joking. It means all the gear all the time. And it implies that you as a rider are going to be wearing every single one of your pieces of gear every time you go out to ride. Easy enough. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hopefully it was equal parts informative, funny, and as always, Yammie-centric. If you like what you've seen, give a sub to the channel. It helps me out greatly. Is this a list video? I'm not sure. It wasn't numbered. Is he still doing lists? Did he finally give up? Is his channel dead? Will he ever stop? Goodbye.